Oh, welcome to this second part in the series of demos on Sked Analyser. As I mentioned before on the vessel intro, this is on a beta version of Sked Analyser, and I think I've already found a minor bug on the route screen, but it's no big deal, so I think I'll just truck on and give you a bit of a feel for how the screen shows, how the screen's used. Okay. So let's go ahead and start up Sked Analyser. Once again, it defaults to the vessel screen when it first starts up. The general idea of that is a lot of the buttons are in the rough order that you need to go through and process things. Like if you start in Sked Analyser from scratch, you need to create the vessels, then the routes, or actually you can create them in either or order. It doesn't really matter. You can do vessels and routes in no specific order. But when you get to races, you have to have your routes and your vessels set up ready for the race. Okay, okay, so let's go to the routes screen. You can see there's the Adelaide to Lincoln race and the coordinates. If you use those, please use them at your own discretion and make sure they're exactly right. They're just taken from files that I've used in the past. Okay, you can see on the screen here some buttons across the top. What they do is they default the values that you enter in for routes. Well, actually, the first three buttons there with the DDs and all the rest of it, they actually let you enter in different formats. So the first one, which is currently on, which is DD dot little d's, that means that you put in whole degrees followed by a full stop, and then everything after that is decimal degrees. Okay, so the ones that you can see there are currently in decimal degrees. The next one is if you've got degrees and minutes, to help you enter it in faster, that's the only reason why the comma's there. You would type in, if you were doing degrees and minutes with decimal minutes, you would actually type in, well, actually I'll just change the format, hopefully that'll show you. Yeah, you can see the format's actually changed there. I'll show you when they actually add it, exactly how it looks. But when you enter, you actually want to determine when you finish putting in the whole degrees and the minutes, you put in a comma. Don't put any spaces or anything like that. So just type in, if you're putting in 34, you go 34, comma, 47 point, whatever. Okay? And the last one is if you've got degrees, minutes, and seconds, which is, you can see there if you change the format. I'm going to put the demo in dd.dd. Okay, the other ones are defaults for your when you enter vessels. So I'm going to set that to south and east. Okay, so when you add a new waypoint, it'll default to whatever those are. So if you're in the northern hemisphere, you'd have it defaulting to N. For the latitude, I'm going to set it to south and east for here on the east coast of Australia. Okay, similar sort of setup to the vessel screen. You can either touch the route button or drag out to the drag from left to right, and you get a list of all the vessels. And you see there's the routes. That one's Adelaide to Lincoln. I'm pretty sure Brisbane to Keppel is empty. Scratch, I think, is a copy. Yep, it is. There's Sydney to Hobart, the northern start and the southern start. Yeah, you can use search in here as well, although there's not many entries in here, but let's just see if it. Sure, there's Sydney to Hobart. Okay. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just go through and show how you go through and create a route. So we'll create one which is exactly the same as the Adelaide to Lincoln. We'll just call it test. So here you hit the edit button again, so very similar to the vessel screen, and we'll just call this one test. Edit, and when we're done, you can see that test has now been created. So we'll click on test, and you can see test is empty. So we'll go through and create a couple of waypoints. Okay, let's see if I can read my handwriting. So start. There's it south, and oh, what's going on there? There's another Yeah, the south didn't actually get picked up, so there's actually another minor bug. That's okay, I'll get that fixed shortly. It's no big deal. Okay, so 34. 5. 138. 8. 1.68. More accuracy than what I need, but there you go. So we'll add another. To create the additional waypoints, I'm just touching the plus sign next to the add new waypoint. Okay, so the first mark is Marion Reef. Once again, the defaults aren't working. Like I said, I'll sort that out. Okay, so it's 35 point 1, 87. That's actually a mark of the course, which I'm pretty sure it was a started rounding. So the segment button on the far right hand side is actually tells you what sort of waypoint it is. So WP is just general waypoint. The first one's actually an ST for start. This is Marion Reef is a mark of the course, so it's mark of the course started rounding. Okay, mark of the course, port rounding and finish. So if you just got a general waypoint for, you won't use Sked Analyser for navigation, but if you want it to make a route move around a obstacle or something like that, then you just put a general waypoint and otherwise put mark of the course. Sked Analyser doesn't use that information at this stage other than the waypoint itself. It's there more for your info, so if you're looking it up, you can see what your next rounding is, etc. Okay, so let's keep trucking on. Okay, expenses are the next one. Oops. Oh, what am I doing there? Spencer. And okay, Spencer 35. 35. 338. 136. I'm typing these in pretty fast, so please don't use these. Don't use these coordinates for anything. Okay, actually, I think that is a waypoint. I've got to make sure it's south, otherwise we're going to get a skewed course. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cape Spencer wasn't a mark of the course. Donington Point. Oh yeah, that's when you can almost taste the beer. Oh, I couldn't be bothered correcting that. It's okay. Donington Point. 3, 4. 6. I don't know if it's right, but let's put it in. 6. South again. That's actually a mark of the course, and I think I'm pretty sure it's a port. Yeah, obviously it's a port routing. Okay, and last one, which is finish. Oops. Finish, south, and 34.799. Actually, I think that's over near the main wharf, which I don't think has been used for a while. Well, the finish hasn't been there for the last year or so. Okay, 7, and that's actually the finish. And let's hit done, and there you go. So that's actually entered the race. We've got the route in there, and that's ready to go. I'll just quickly put it back into edit mode again, just showing you the different types. You can see how it's actually had to put the commas in there. That's just so you can enter in that information quite quickly. I need to put a comma in between the degrees and minutes just so that I know when they've when we've gone from degrees to minutes. But if you need to add things in that way, then away you go. That's all well and good, and otherwise you can use degrees, minutes and seconds if you need to. It just depends who's giving you the details and how you want to enter them in. Probably later I'll add GPX support so that you can import GPX files, but not in the first release. Yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, one more thing. If you get your waypoints out of whack, you can just touch the three little bars on the far right hand side and drag them just to reposition them. Yeah, so if you can just pump them in as quick as you want and then reshuffle them to make sure that they're right. I think that's about it. There you go. That's the route screen of Sked Analyser. I can't think of anything else to show, anything more to show you on that screen at this stage. So thank you very much for watching this session. The next one will be on the race screen, and thanks for taking the time to watch this. And hopefully you'll be back to see the other videos. Okay, thank you. Bye for now.